are counting down the days. San Diegans will head to the polls to weigh in on various key issues. Among them is a measure that would affect term limits for elected officials. Here to explain Prop 28 and what it means is political analyst John Dadian. Good morning.
Good morning.
You are not on the fence on either side of this one, right?
No, I'm completely neutral on the proposition, but I've always personally been against term limits in general. But we have had them since 1990.
And we will continue to have them either way this happens.
That's correct.
So tell us what Prop 28 is.
Right now, what the current law is that you can serve a maximum of 6 years, which is 3 terms in the lower house of the Assembly, and you can serve a maximum of 8 years, total of 2 terms in the upper house of the Senate.
So 14.
That's
total.
correct.
Okay.
Total. But you have to do it in those components.
Right.
What this would do is allow you to serve a total of 12. So proponents say it's actually reducing it, and a lot of people think that's a little disingenuous, and that's really the hook they're saying to pass this. So it lessens it, the total amount, to 12 years, but you can do it all in one house. And what that'll solve, I think, is what people call the job hopping. If you can only serve 6 in the Assembly right now, you're looking to move on to the next office.
So let's take a side on this. Why would you favor this particular move to change it?
Well, again, for one of the biggest reasons is for the job hopping, et cetera.
Simple.
You know, the joke used to be that if you get in the Assembly when there were no term limits, it would take you your first term to find out where the restroom is. Well, even with term limits, that's still the case, because the minute you get in there, you used to have to, it really is a legislative process. You have to know how to pass a bill, how to work with others. Once you really get in there, for example, we had Willie Brown was Speaker for years, for decades. Yeah. Now some people are being speakers and they're Speaker of the Assembly in their first term. Yeah.
Okay. Then why would you vote against this thing? Why would you leave it the way it is?
Because again, they consider it that it's tinkering with it. That since term limits, which originally passed for the state in 1990, it's been on the ballot 3 times. It's been tried to be on the ballot several times more than that. It's failed every time. So opponents of it says that it's tinkering with it. The people have spoken. They want term limits, and this is a good formula. That's the main argument. But it looks, there's a poll that came out just yesterday, the field poll, which is very reputable, et cetera, that looks like it's going to pass pretty substantial.
Okay, there's some people at home right now going, then why should I care? What is the big deal about this thing?
Well, of course, I'm from the old school, because I'm kind of involved in this process, that it does matter who your legislators are. Right. It does matter who gets in there and who is effective. And again, that's one of the main arguments, is this will make people more effective. That's one argument, at least.
You personally are against term limits altogether. State that argument for us.
It's an old cliche, but I think it's very accurate, and that is we do have term limits already, and that's called the ballot box. In the Assembly, for example, similar to Congress, the legislators up every 2 years. And so if you think they're doing a bad job, you have that power to get them out. So the way we have it set up is on our state Senate, half the Senate is up every 2 years, and that's for continuity. But the Assembly, the entire Assembly, could be voted out every 2 years. And that's why people such as me are opposed to term limits.
Have you been able to kind of pay attention to the election as far as what you expect in turnout? What do you think it'll be like this coming Tuesday with the presidential primary there as well?
Yeah, it's hard to say in the numbers, but part of the conventional wisdom, and you really see this on the city council races, which are very important, of course, San Diego city council races, is people are saying that it's going to favor the Republican candidates in the primary, and that's why some of the Democratic candidates are hoping to make runoffs to get in the general, because in the general, with the president on the ballot, it's going to be much higher Democratic turnout. So those are some of the main components that we're looking at in the primary. But I think it's always lower in the primary, and we're just not sure yet. Interesting, though, keep in mind, looks like almost half of the ballots that will end up being cast in this election will be done by absentee.
Really?
Absolutely.
It's gotten that high now.
About 50% will be absentee, and of that 50% absentee already, as you and I speak today, 20% of those are already in. So it used to be what they call an election day get out the vote, where campaigns would make sure the votes got out to the poll. They've been going to the polls for the past couple of weeks now, and that brings a whole new dynamic if you're a campaign strategist.
It's going to be an exciting Tuesday.
And it is here, finally.
Finally. Thank you so much. We've been talking about it for how many years now, it seems like? Thanks so much, John. We appreciate it.